Hello everyone. So we are back again and I am in Bangalore all the way from Calcutta. So where are we, Akhila? Can you please tell us?
Yeah, so we are in one of the most beautiful parks of Bangalore, the Cubbon Park, a very good place for reading, writing, and leisure work. And we have brought for you a very special episode today on ArtLit on our journey from college to becoming co-founders of ArtLit. That how we were college friends and how we evolved and thought of starting ArtLit and all about our writing journey. We'll be sharing today.
Yes. So before sharing the writing journeys, I would love to take you through TMYS review. So basically, we were this book, this anthology,
which is very special to us because this is for the first time our works have been featured together in an anthology, both Hemanti's work and my work. So this is very special to us, and we'll tell you a little about this, and then we'll get back to our writing journeys, which hopefully will help you in your writing journeys as well.
Definitely. I think TMYS or Tell Me a Story is a very good platform, and we both happened to do a workshop with them and got to know the nitty-gritties of writing, story writing. So we actually wrote a story. I wrote a story, and Akhila wrote a very beautiful poem, and we were selected for this anthology. And finally it has happened that in the same anthology we both have been published, so it's very special.
And it's very special, that's why we thought of discussing about it, and plus hopefully to help you all, we would be discussing a few tips and how our writing journeys had been so far.
Yes.
So I think I'll discuss Hemanti's work before. So it is a collection of essays, short stories, poems, and also digital conversations in which you will find some good short stories and poems written by different writers, and it is published by the publisher Readomania. And we are very thankful to TMYS and Readomania for selecting our work and publishing it. And so the work by Hemanti, it's a short story. It's titled Bhavachakra, The Cycle of Rebecoming. And the theme of this anthology was stories, poems, essays on beliefs and social customs, cultural identity and ideology. So basically the entire collection, themes and all the stories and poems in this work revolves around the theme of beliefs and social customs. And Hemanti's work is again a very interesting story about the protagonist Aarti, who is a mother, who is an expecting mother, and how customs can actually affect the customs and traditions which we carry very close to our hearts can be very, very discriminatory to women and particular genders or people. So this is a story of Aarti, who is a mother, who is going to be a mother soon, who is expecting a child, but how customs and the traditions are always discriminating her, and the patriarchal belief that how she should, the expectations that how she should be bearing a son only. And also we as a society sometimes become very insensitive towards the inferior sex, the second gender, you can say. And it's very patriarchal and deeply rooted in patriarchy. And how she struggles because of these customs, and she had to find. And many a times we don't want to confide to these customs, but still we have to. Like the sati pratha was again a tradition. And there are many customs like, the menstruating women are not considered as pure, but we still practice it and we still believe it. So there are a lot of customs like that. And so I'll just read one excerpt, a little excerpt from Hemanti's work. Hope you'll enjoy this. So the excerpt goes like this. This pregnancy was also a difficult one, but Aarti was determined. She would do everything possible to birth a healthy baby. Months passed, and finally, on the day of God Bharai, baby shower, many ladies gathered and ritual started under the guidance of her mother-in-law Mithila. All the ladies took a fistful of rice, a few sesame seeds and fruits as blessings and put them on Aarti's lap one by one. After everyone was done with the ritual, Aarti was told to empty her pallu slowly, leaving some in the folds of her sari. Arey beta, you have more sesame on your sari, which means you won't birth a boy, a lady prompted. The disappointed faces told her that she had done something wrong. You will have to pray and do penance, beta, that next time you birth a boy. A lady placed her palms on Aarti's crown as everyone started leaving. So you just see that how these customs and rituals become a ground or an opportunity to discriminate people, or make you feel not
Inferior.
very good, inferior and not very good about your gender. And it still happens, and there are so many customs which because of which under the disguise of the customs, you are discriminated. It's still happening, and it's a taboo, and it's very disheartening. So this is a story which is very interesting to read, and there are more other stories which are very interesting to read by other authors as well, and you should be buying this book. And let us know if you happen to buy this book and read this book in the description box below.
So next, I think I would be discussing about the poem which Akhila has written. Its name is The Fortune Teller, and it's about the fortune teller. There's a tribe in
Kurvas.
Chennai, right?
Chennai and southern part of India.
So
Kurvas.
on the beach, generally you will find these fortune tellers telling you about the future, and it's very sad that they are unsure about their own future. So there are major themes here. There is a very subtle theme of homosexuality. There is a theme of uncertainty. Then there are customs or rituals which actually does not mean anything, but we still follow it, and we still believe it. And sometimes, by fun, we try to ask someone that, say, what is our fortune, because we also know that what is going to happen, or we might not know what is going to happen. We can imagine what can be the future by the way we do things, or by the decisions we make in our life. So I think this poem is very beautiful, and it's very subtly told. The story is very subtly told, that there are two girls, I think, right? Two partners who are sitting on the beach, and this fortune teller comes, and they are like asking the fortune teller that tell us about the future. And fortune tellers generally go to the couples, and which is traditionally a man and a woman, which is a couple. But here the couple is not the traditional couple, and the fortune teller, whatever he says, they would think about it, but they already know how difficult their life would be because of certain traditions of the society, or certain ways of thinking of the society. So I would like to read one paragraph of this, one stanza of this poem. While we sat on the sun-soaked sand of a Chennai beach one evening, letting the sand grains slip off our fists, and watching the waves rumbling to and fro, washing pure our anklet-adorned immoral legs, we mused about our uncertain tomorrow, when a fortune teller in her wrinkled body, overlooking a crouched, oblivious couple, faltered around us, carrying a parrot peeping through the vertical metallic cage. On us, the parrots immured in this life of lie. So it's very beautifully said. And I would like to ask Akhila, how did you get this, idea of this poem when you were writing The Fortune Teller? How did it come to you?
Yeah, so like before shifting to Bangalore, I was in Chennai for a couple of years, and there was this tradition when you go to the Chennai beaches, so these tellers will come running to people and telling them that we can tell the future. And in between, I had read an article in the Hindu titled "The Uncertain Future of the Fortune Tellers," because there was, I think, government had come up with some laws that you cannot engage a parrot because they usually carry a caged parrot. So I found it very interesting, and when I used to sit on the beach, I used to see that how they used to hound the couples, and I saw two girls. Definitely, nothing was in my mind. I was not judging them or something, but uh, they were specifically looking for couples, but because they were too engrossed in themselves, so very hesitantly she went to two girls who were sitting together, and it just the mind thought of it was a very spontaneous flow of poetry. And then just that time, a lot of debate was going on the topic, and I was thinking that, so it was an amalgamation of different thoughts about whether they claim to be fortune tellers, but whether even they are not sure about their own future, and so many things. So it just happened spontaneously. On that note, I would also like to ask you about your story. That what inspired you to write about Aarti?
So actually, it came from life. I would not say my life specifically, but a lot of women I see in my daily life has gone through this kind of discrimination, or there are so many customs, which are, against the equality. And I don't know if in the previous generation they would be following this obviously, but then in nowadays when we are questioning that why this, why that, there are few customs which does not have answer an
Right.
answer. So in that case, I used to question a lot the customs and tradition, and I still do. And I got to know about these traditions or these customs which can be affecting the psyche of a woman, specifically women, and not the men. Especially in times of pregnancy,
Yeah.
may it be asking for a boy child, or
Yeah.
talking about whether the child would be fair or not.
Yeah.
So the small remedies which
Yeah.
people give, so that I feel that that is very prone to judgment, and
Yeah.
it might affect some people who are more sensitive. So the thought process came from there, and then I built the storyline across it. That's
Interesting.
about it.
So tell me something about your writing journey. Like, how did you start? So friends, let me tell you again that we were college friends. We did our graduation in mass communication from Indore Devi Ahilya University, and we were together for 3 years. And we were good friends, not very good friends, but we were good friends. But then there was a disconnect for some time. We were there on social media, we were connected, but a couple of years back we realized that we are doing similar things. She also likes reading and writing, I also like reading and writing, so we thought of connecting and starting this platform ArtLit for our creative satisfaction and endeavors. So now I would like to ask Hemanti that what inspired you to write, and how did your writing journey begin, literary journey begin?
See, when we were in mass communication, we used to write reports, kind of things, So I was always interested in writing and reading, but then it did not, emancipate in that way. Later on, when I was doing my masters, I took up literature, and that's when I got to know about literature of the world, and that created this need for me to read more and more and write more and more. And I think it happened very fluidly. out of nothing I started writing. Here and there I would write the poems and keep it to myself, sometimes share on the social media. Some people would like it, some won't. So I used to be a little like, it's not ready to be published, I can't be published. But then time came when I got inspired by you, Akhila.
Thank you.
And I thought that no, I also can try. At least, I mean, I can work upon my writings. I can, a little bit. I can try to use certain learnings and write better.
Right.
So I think TMY's Tell Me a Story helped me a lot through that,
Yeah.
and built that confidence also.
Yeah.
So
Learned
that's
a lot.
how it began. What about you, Akhila?
Yeah, so like as I shared, like we were students of mass communication, and then I started working as a journalist, and that was a time where I got a lot of opportunities to write and explore new things, themes, and subjects and topics. And like my works were getting published, and I could see the impact of the work at smaller level, but it was very gratifying and it was very rewarding. And so writing was always a part of my life, even during teenage years. So I come from a family of writers, so I got that atmosphere, and I was writing, and I always enjoyed the process, reading and writing. And a couple of bit, I was never thinking that I had never thought that I would be getting into creative writing, because I always used to think that okay, creative writing is not my cup of tea. I
Yeah.
cannot do it. Only writers are born writers. But then what happened? A couple of my articles got published in anthologies on their own. I mean, I had sent it there on a digital platform, Youth Ki Awaaz, and it got selected in a anthology compiled by Juggernaut Publishers. And again, whatever I was writing, it was getting good traction. So I thought, why not try this? And then I happened to do a couple of writing workshops. I started with Himalayan Writing Retreat, HWR, run by Chetan Mahajan. So that was my first writing workshop, and that really boosted my confidence that yes, I can practice. And he was the one who told that writers are not born writers. The craft has to be developed over time. So that encouraged me a lot. And then again, I did a writing workshop along with Hemanti by Tell Me Your Story, run by Koral Das Gupta, and also facilitated by Somrita Ganguly. By the way, we must tell you, this is not a sponsored post.
No.
This is all about our journey, and not everybody has to do the writing workshops. You can just practice on your own as well. We are just sharing our journeys.
Yes.
And that was something which really maintained the flow of writing. I understood the nitty-gritties of creative writing, short story writing, and my work again along with Hemanti got published in an anthology published by them, and it gave me a lot of boost. And after that, I kept on writing and sending my works for publishing. So rejection is a very important part of, very evident part of your writing process, and a lot of works used to get rejected, but somehow a lot of works used to get accepted also. And in the process, I realized that this is something which I would really like to do. And yes, so I'll keep reading, I'll keep writing, sending my works for publishing. We'll keep getting rejections and acceptances. Yeah.
And this process goes on.
Goes on, yeah.
So, Akhila, you were just telling about that you can practice by your own. It's not important for everyone to take a writing workshop.
Yeah.
So, how do you practice when you are not into any kind of workshop or things like that?
So basically, I was more into poetry writing. And what happened, one of my poems got selected again in an anthology by IFES, All India Forum for English Scholars, Students and Teachers. And that gave me a lot of boost, because that was the second time my work was getting selected in an anthology. And I used to read journals, I used to read poetry books. I started following a lot of literary platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and I started, attending a lot of free these sessions, literary sessions. And I started writing. I also happened to publish, I also got my work, my debut collection of poetry, Tamlet, Sweets Are Poems about Love, Loss, Longing and Life, published by Kitab. So it was a very continuous process. So I make sure every day that I practice something. I read something at least for half an hour or an hour for an hour, because it gives you a lot of ideas. It helps you in the craft because you're reading someone else's work. You know how things are used, how the craft is used, the writing technique is used. And then I used to practice every day. So in a week I make sure to write at least one poem a week, or 2 to 3 short form poems, like Japanese short forms like haiku or senku or something like that. And then for like for fiction, I started an article or an essay or smaller scenes I usually practice. And whatever comes to my mind, I make a track of, these are the topics which I can write. And then I started writing short stories after attending the workshop. So workshops can help you if the workshops are good, the platforms are good, if it suits you. Not every workshop will suit everyone. But on your own, you have to read and practice, and you have to see. And a group can really help. So I also work with different group of writers where we share, our works to these groups, and they read, and it's a very mutual endeavor where we read each other's work and we critique each other's work, and we tell that what can be improved and how can be improved, and how we felt as a reader. So it helped me a lot. So you have to find similar, like-minded people. First of all, you have to read a lot, and secondly, then you have to practice writing at least 3 to 4 days. Try to practice writing. And I am still in the process. I'm not a very good writer or something, but I'm still in the process. I'm experimenting.
Yes.
What about you? How do you practice?
I like you said, after before workshopping, I used to write for my own satisfaction. And what I used to do is, after writing for, say, I completed a short story, then I would like reread it after a week or so, and I would try to do small changes, or I would like love to edit that. And probably sometimes it happened that it changed, the whole thing changed completely.
Yeah, it happens.
So that is something which I used to do before workshopping. But after getting to know certain structural things about writing, I think I'm more I'm more confident. And what I do is I write, I do a lot of editing also. And I try to write more, read more. And the ideas which we have in our mind, it's important to jot it down somewhere so that it doesn't get lost. So I do that. And
Tracking is
I also make art, so that is also a way for me to keep the track of it, the ideas. So whatever idea I get, may it be a small story or small incident, I make a art about it. So that that memory keeps me ready for the next thing. So till now I have I think 4 to 5 short stories which have been published, and
great.
and some anthologies I have published my poems as well, free verse poems. And I'm working on my poetry collection,
Very nice.
which is edited by Akila.
Not edited, just read. Just few suggestions here
Yeah,
and
so we do try to connect with each other and read each other's work, and probably talk about it.
there. Yeah.
Mostly we are in sync always with the work we do, and that's how we are doing things at this point of
It's
time.
very important to have like-minded people. Like I share with Hemanti, and like we both have other groups as well where we share our works. So I think that's how you grow. You have to keep trying and be persistent and a little bit consistent. If not every day, you have to keep weekly targets, monthly targets. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. So what are your future plans, Akila?
My future plans, so I would like to keep writing and keep sending my works for publications and keep connecting with like-minded people. And I would like to publish, I have a couple of short stories written, so I need to work on that, and we'll see if it can be published somewhere else. And yes, I work with a group of poets where it's headed by Shloka Shankar, who is the founder of Yavnika Press. So we we twice a month we sit together digitally, connect, and we just write our poems and share our learnings and edit each other's work, and again we send our works to different journals. So this year also, a few of my approximately 20 poems have been published, short form, free verse, including everything. So I would like to keep doing that, and once I have a good collection of poems, would like to publish that as a collection.
Yeah.
And definitely short stories, and then I have creative non-fiction work in the process. I have completed the first draft, but there is a lot of work which has to be done. The topic and theme is a secret right now. We'll share later.
And
that's
I'm
my-
really excited for that
Yeah.
because I have an idea about it. What is it going to be? So I am waiting for that, and yes, I think haiku and these small short poetry forms are also very interesting. And
Japanese short
yeah,
films, yeah.
so we are. I'm also attached to the same group, and I think that gave, because the brevity of the work is also very creative at
Yeah.
times, and from there you can get a lot of confidence. Probably in poetry it's very important that if you are not confident about something, and maybe there are creative differences, but sometimes you feel more confident
Yeah.
when you are in sync with
Yeah,
your
yeah.
groups, or writing groups.
Or at least somebody is there to read your work and tell you. So if there is a second eye, you feel more confident that
Yes.
yes, somebody has read and suggested me. Obviously the suggestions have to be authentic. It's very important.
Right.
It's really good to do creative work in a group. Really, it was always believed that writing is a solitary affair, but I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, you have to sit and write alone maybe, but you have to share it with like-minded people, and you
Yeah.
have to find a group. And ArtLit is something which can provide you people. So if you would like to connect with us, you can write to us at artlitcommunity@gmail.com. We can do clubs, writing clubs, and reading clubs, something like that. So do let us know in our description box below if you want something like that, so we can create something like that.
Also, those they have written, we can read that and give
Yeah.
you, it's a paid platform, and we
Yeah.
can give you suggestions, and
Yeah.
we can do beta reading,
Yeah.
and we
Beta
do a
reading.
lot of content writing as well, and
Yeah.
corporate trainings as well. So in case you have any kind of queries, you can connect with us at this mail ID.
And we also have a Telegram group if you want to be in that group, in the group of like-minded people, where we share about opportunities, publishing opportunities, some articles, literary articles, and all that. So if you want to be a part of that group, do write to us in our email ID, artlitcommunity@gmail.com. We have shared all the details in the description box below. And as Hemanti said, that we also do beta reading services. So if you are interested, you can write to us. If your book is in the making, we can just read it and let you know that how it is and what changes can be done. And we also have our own YouTube channels. Mine is with the name of Akila Mohan CG, where I talk about books, authors, and literary stuff. And Hemanti's-
And basically I have two channels. So one is about travel. It's about storytelling. Actually, there are different stories in life, and
Very
mostly it is related to travel. Another one is about folklore and culture. So that is about the folk tales and the tribal life, and that is Hoimonti Bakchi. It is named as that, and the travel one is named as anecdote.
Right. So I think that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we really enjoyed, having this conversation for you people. Do write to us if you have any queries, concern, or if you want to connect with our ArtLit group, or if you have any services, or if you want to be a part of some, you can follow us on Instagram to see what we are doing, and we get benefited from the work we are doing. So we'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye everyone.
Bye.